Here we are on day 10 of my 13 Frights before Halloween 2021. It's almost coming to an end, so we're about to finish wrapping up decorating this album, large folio album that we've created the past several days. Today I'm going to show you how to make a slider element for the decorative element for the front cover. I think I figured out a way to use it on the front cover. So I'm going to show you how to make it today. It's going to go right here on our front cover of our album, but we'll put it on later when we're doing the decorating. So I'm going to set this aside for now. And I picked out this card. So I do like this back side. No, this is the one. I want the images. All Hallows Eve to go with my element. So this is your 4x6 card, journaling card. You can cut a piece of paper that size if you don't have the journaling cards. And then I have this small one. Of course, the back side is trick or treat, but I'm going to use probably the witch side. And then I picked out this little cat chipboard piece here, right here. Now, from the cardstock, we need to cut. And let me move these guys aside so I can get my scoreboard out. Sorry about the noise there. Okay, so for this front cover slider, we need one piece that's 6 by 6.5. So there's the 6.5 by 6. We're going to turn it. We're going to score the 6-inch side, put that at the top, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Make sure it's in there good. A 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. Okay, score the 6-inch side at a 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. Then you need a piece that's 2.5 by 4, and you need a 6-inch by 1, and we're going to score the 6-inch side at a 1/2. Make sure you're scoring it at 1/2 and at 5.5. That gives us a 1/2 inch on each end. Okay. And then we need a smaller piece that is a 1 by 2.5. 1 by 2.5, and we're going to score the 2.5 inch side at 1 inch and 1.5. Okay, so that's our scoring. We'll move all that out of the way. It's been a long time since I've made one of these. We'll see if we can pull this off. Hopefully we can. So I am going to go ahead and fold up and burnish my score lines. Pretty sure I have to do that. So this one will have a 1/4 inch section right here. And then this one's on each end. I'm trying to figure out if I missed a scoring or not. So I'll double check that. On my notes, I don't have it written down. But here we've got these. So this is a slider piece, just like that. Okay. All right, so let me take a look at everything. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, so good thing I checked my notes from my Master Detective one. I didn't think this one looked right. I misread my notes. I'm going to rub out the 3/4 inch one. It's going to be okay because it's going to be covered up with paper. Okay, I'm going to rub that out. So we did want, that's the great thing about artisan cardstock, you could pretty much rub out one. Okay, so we have the 1/2 inch. So what we were supposed to do was on the 6-inch side, score at a 1/2 inch and at 3 1/4, not 3/4, but 3 1/4, right there. Okay, that's lots better. That looks more like what I remember. I'm thinking, I don't understand how this goes together. So we fold and burnish just the 1/2 inch. And I apologize if you've scored already that 3/4, but like I said, it's going to be covered by paper and you just rub it out. Okay. And then we score this 3 1/4 one. So what we have is this long sleeve like this. Now I could make it different. This one fit the little bookcase. I'm going to leave it this size, but I do need to trim it down to actually just 6 inches. So I'm going to trim off a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to change that in the notes to make it a 6 by 6. Okay? It's going to be 6 by 6 to fit this. Now, you cut it the length of whatever you need. It's a little bit more trimmed off, because you might be using just a regular piece of paper or something. Okay, so now I've got that trimmed off. So I'm going to leave it in the guide that way and let you, my light just doesn't seem very bright for some reason on this side over here. But okay, we're going to leave it like that. So this goes on like that. Okay, so let's see how we assemble this. So you fold and burnish the 1/2 inch score lines on the 6 by 1 inch piece. And we're going to fold the 1 inch by 2.5 inch piece along the score lines, and we're going to wrap it around this piece right here. Just like that. So that this comes around. Fold it up. The score lines are not quite right, so you may have to adjust that because you want to make sure it just wraps around. So I burnished that to refold that, and then glue the piece together. So I'm putting glue just on the edge of this wider piece here on this side. You want the folds here to the back. Bring this over and glue it down and burnish. Now wipe off any excess glue, because this is a slider and you do want it to be able to go up and down. So if it's too tight, you may have to adjust it some. Right up and down. I think maybe this one needs to trim some. I'm going to take my scissors, and you do have to adjust some now and then. And I'm just going to trim a slight edging off here. I'll let that, tear that off and let it slide down. Make it a little looser. Okay. So you just want this slider to be able to go up and down, okay? So now we're going to glue this into here. Can't quite tell on my notes which side is which. So I know this is going to wrap around like that. So we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to glue this just on the 1/2 inch flaps folded down. Put glue on each one. I hope this isn't too long here. And I'm going to put it here on this opposite of where the hinge is, and I'm going to put it right at the top. So it is shorter because it's not going to go all the way down in there. So you line it up straight, burnish it up here at the top, and burnish it here at the bottom. So we still have this sliding piece. Let's see if I can show you. See how it's glued here on the 1/2 inch, glued here the 1/2 inch, and your slider piece is still here. Well, then this piece here, because we want this to be stronger, I'm going to cut it to fit the back of this 3 by 4 card. So I'm just going to put glue here on the center of this piece of cardstock, my 2.5 by 1, and I'm going to glue this right here at the top edge and center it right there. And I'm going to take my ink. I'm going to ink all the edges. Now, if this extends, if there's any extending below after you glue it on, just trim that off the bottom. And then we ink it. I want this to have ink on it around the edges. This is what's going to pop up out of the top of the slider. I'm just trimming some cardstock off that I think needs to be trimmed off and re-ink that to finish that off, okay? So you could actually write something here if you wanted to. Now then, I'm going to position this slider piece up at the top. And the card is a little bit too wide. So this does need trimmed down to the width of this cardstock. So I'll just trim it off after I've glued it on, and then I will ink it. Now if you want to round the corners, my one that has the 1/8 of an inch, I'm going to use that, and then I'll ink that. So open up for 1/8 of an inch if you have that. Punch those corners. It's just a slight rounding of the corner, not a whole lot. Ink those little corners. Now that should fit in there. And so this is going to fit, making sure it wraps around it and it fits like that so that the witch will come out at the top. Okay. I'm going to hold this up so you can see and turn it in the light. Okay, so this is our slider piece here. We're going to slide it all the way to the top. And we're going to put glue just on that slider piece on this one side. And then I'm going to carefully attach this card, the bottom of the card, to that slider piece and center it so that it's within the fold line and the edge, other edge here. So burnish that down. Make sure it's as straight as you can get it on your slider and burnish. Okay, and when this folds, this will slide all the way in. Okay, now that's what the chipboard piece is for. So now let's seal this up. We're going to put glue on the back side of the 1/2 inch tab here. The back side, we're just going to fold it over and burnish. And you can change the sizes of these to accommodate whatever you're putting on it. So this goes in, and now we don't want it to go all the way without us being able to grab it. So I have my little chipboard piece that I'm going to sand just a little bit on the edge where it's got a little notch on it where I poked it out of the package. And I'm going to ink that. I love this little cat. I'm a cat person, you know, and I do have a black cat. Well, she's not a solid black. She's got a little bit of white right under her neck, but she's black enough for Halloween. I used to have a solid black one called Salem, and he just disappeared one day. I don't know. He went out into the woods and he didn't come back. So I don't know if he found a new home or some wild animal got him or got lost. We never could find him. We called him and we looked and we looked and we never did find Salem. He was solid black. Okay, so I'm going to put glue on the back of my little chipboard. Now I know this is not finished, and that's okay because you're not going to see it once you put it on the cover. Attach this centered just to the left of the little bat. Clean off excess glue. And let that dry. Make sure we can get this glub of glue off. There we go. So let that dry. So that's going to keep it. It needs to go up a little higher. Oops. I want this in as much with the witch hidden there. I want it right there. Maybe. You want to take glue off the bottom. So I got to play with this. Clean that off and re-ink it. Gonna have to fiddle with yours some. So I don't want the glue on the very bottom of my chipboard piece. I want my card in as far as it will go and not show. Let's see how I did that on that other one. Okay, so it has to go in a little bit. So just the edge of it, just a little bit of the edging. Right here in the center, kind of up a little higher than I had it. So a flat piece probably would work better, but I think this is going to work. So it's going to go in further and then pulls out. Okay. That, and I will put some string on that or ribbon. Now this is what's going to glue onto this piece here. So you just see the tip top of that chipboard piece, and then when you pull on it, the card comes up and stops. So it doesn't come all the way out. That's what that slider piece is for. So now I'm just going to put glue on the front side of the slider piece right here. And this is going to glue onto it, centered right at the top edge. It helps to look on the back right there. Turn it over and burnish that. So that's that decorative piece there. So that's going to give us some element there. And we can seal this bottom one up here. I think it would look better right here. Just a little bit of glue to seal up that pocket of the slider card. Now I haven't decided what I'm going to put into this hole until I do my decorating. So that's how you make a slider decorative element. So this is going to glue onto the front cover with some other fussy cutting stuff that I'm going to do. And tomorrow's day 11. We're going to decorate the inside. And then on day 12, October 29th, we'll decorate the cover. So that's all for today. For day 10, we've done our front cover slider. And if I can come up with something, I'll have a little bonus project for you. Thanks. So for today's bonus project, which will also be our last bonus project for this 13 Frights Before Halloween series, is just going to be a quick little pop-up card made out of patterned paper. Or at least I think it will be mostly patterned paper. I do have a little bit of cardstock that I used here on the backing. So I have here a piece 10 inches by 5, and I folded it in half and burnished. This is the card base. Okay. So it's got the bats on the outside and the dots. This is the Twilight paper again by Authentique that I had in my stash. Then I have a scrap that is 5 by 3, and I've just folded it in half and scored it. And then I took one edge and about at a 1/2 inch, folded up and burnish right there. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And then where this half fold line is, I'm going to cut a V up to the center fold line. So now I have this piece here for pop-up. Now this is probably taller than I'm going to want. I don't know yet. We may cut it out. So you want your tabs to face the top of your card. And this is a sticker that I folded in half and it's peeling up, but I'm going to work it in somewhere. So just make sure you're going to glue one of your 1/2 inch tabs. This is the back side where it's folded up. You're going to place this about center, the V of the fold line on the fold line of the card, and press this 1/2 inch tab down and hold it. And I've kind of got it at an angle, see, like that. Now that I'm going to fold it down, and see. Now I'm going to make my other tab, fold it right here, put my glue on, and I want it kind of lining up with the other one. Make sure the cut is over the fold of your card. So this is your pop-up element, and it will fold down into the card. So I'm just going to fold it and burnish it really good to make sure it folds up. And then when you open it, it pops up like that. So this is where we're going to put our scene on. I got my ink here. I'm going to ink the edge of this pop-up part here, maybe a little bit on the side. I may trim some of it off. I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges of my card. Well, I've got my ink out. Okay, so I took stickers and I just layered them up on some of the craft cardstock so that they would be backed. And so I cut this little sign down. It says turn back. I have Erie. I have a bat. I have like a stamp scene sticker. This is all from this Twilight sticker sheet, and then haunted house here. And so these can just glue on to the sides, and I want it kind of sticking out like that, and I'm making sure it's going to fold in. So before I glue it on, I lay it here and look and see. Now parts of it are going to stick off, and that's fine. So I'm just kind of letting the edge of it catch. So I'm going to put glue on this part here, and I know this square piece here. So yours may be different, and I'm going to glue it right along this edge here. And wipe my glue off. Kind of right there, so it's sticking out like that, and when it folds up, it stays inside. So can you see my seam right there? And of course I got glue that I need to wipe off. Okay, so that's that one. And this one says Frightful. It's got a spider web. It's got the bat. And I'm going to stick it over here on the side. So this piece gets glue, and this should fit in there like that. Now if I got glue sticking out on the side and on the back, I'm going to wipe it off on the back. So press that in, and that folds up. Wipe this glue off on the back side. Don't want anything sticking down. I'll move it just a tiny bit here. There we go. Wanted the spider web more on my pop-up base. Okay, so then that's good there. So that pops up like that. Now I've got you under my spell. I'm going to put glue on it, but I want it here along the fold. I'm going to ink where I folded it because authentic stuff does sometimes crack, and so it shows white, and I'm going to ink that. I don't care that it cracked a little bit. I just want to make sure that the ink covers the white part of it. It's a sticker, but I am adding some glue, and I've got you under my spell, and I'm going to put the crease that I made on that center line pretty well. It's like my sentiment. I've got you under my spell, and that pops down over it like that. And then we have this. I'm going to look at some more stickers on my sheet. I'm going to fill in some of this area in here. So let's see what we've got. We've got some jack-o'-lanterns. I'm going to put one here. And you can put glue on that if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and stick a couple of them down like that. And I have these other two. I'm going to put, maybe they need glue on them. I'm going to put here on each side of this sentiment like that. I don't want it covering the eye though. Let me move it over a little bit. And then this one. So I'm just using up lots of odds and ends stickers to kind of make this cute little pop-up card. Spell. Got you under my spell. See, we have some bats here. I'm going to put a bat right here. Like that. And we have some spiders hanging down. Put that one here. It's just decorated up with the different stickers that you might have. Don't have to be in the same spot completely. So there's that, like that. So how it pops up like that. Okay, so this is really a simple pop-up card. More detail was done on these two side pieces here. I think that will probably be enough for a pop-up card here. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I did say I wasn't going to use any cardstock, but I think I'm going to use some more patterned paper to kind of thicken things up a little bit. Okay, this is the front. So I'm going to cut me a piece about 4 by 4. Okay, add these spiders. 4 by 4 for the front. The spider webs and the spiders. I'm going to put that right there. Some glue. Lay it here. Okay, kind of center it the best you can. There we go. Burnish that down. And then I have these stickers still. I have Beautiful. I did have these sticking down off their backing, so I'm going to put glue on them. Put that right here, Beautiful. And I'm going to cut a piece of paper for the back here. Goosebumps. Thinking about putting Goosebumps somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to put glue on it. Don't want to waste it, so I'm going to use it. Goosebumps is going to go right in like this. Too much glue, wipe it off. Okay, like that. Now, do we have some other fun little things we want to put in here? I don't know. I was thinking about some little eyeballs, but then it wouldn't lay flat. So I know I'm going to put something else here. October 31st. I like that. I'm going to put some glue on it to make sure it stays. It's a little saying here. October 31st, when witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers. It's near Halloween. And then we have this tag looking here. I'm going to put that right there. And it's got a little hole because it's a tag. So let's take some orange string twine. And I'm going to thread it through, fold it in half. Lift this up enough. I didn't glue this top part down yet. Lift this up enough to where I can put this through the little hole of the tag sticker. Pull it through. Got a loop here. Grab the tails, pull them through the loop. Just like that. Attach that down. And then I'm going to probably tie a bow. Let's see. See how that looks. Yeah, I like that. Put a little bit of glue on that knot there. Grab me a do I want a button on it? I've got to put some string in it. Push button. No. I think I'm just going to use I'm here somewhere some black flat backs. I've got the silver here. There they are, flat black ones. Just going to grab one of these and put it right there in the center. Okay, normally I tie these, but I cut it pretty short, so I'm just going to clip them off and let it do its thing. It may ravel out or not. So that's how that looks on the front of this card. If you want to do something to the corners, you can. So that pops up like that. Then I'm going to put a square on the back, you know, to make it a little thicker here. So that was a 4x4 scrap of paper. Here we got a 4x4 stripe. Oh, I'll cut it 4x4. It's not a 4x4 yet, but it will be. Cut it to 4x4. I'm just going to flip this over, and it's going to go here on the back. I'm going to use the check side. This is just to add a little extra strength to the thickness of your card. It's not really necessary, but. And then here on the back, if you have a sticker you want to add. I'm going to do trick or treat. Just kind of like a label. Trick or treat. Get a little glue here on this corner. So there's the back of the card. There's the front, and this is just made out of patterned paper with a little bit of cardstock for the back of these collages of the stickers. So that just pops open there. You want to take a piece of craft paper, scrap of the craft, cut you down a little message box, about 2.5 wide by 2.5 tall square, and you can put it on the side here. This is where you would write your message. I'm going to punch the corners with a stub. Let's dress it up just a little bit more with some patterned paper maybe. See what we've got. Got the spider webs. Is that wide enough? So we cut it at, let's see if I've got enough for 2 1/4 or not. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Oh, I made that too small. You know what? I'm going to use it. So it goes there on the front. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. I'm going to stub it out. Cut it too small. What size was this? Oh, that was 2 1/2. That's why. So I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm going to cut another little piece of the craft to write on. So I'm just going to get this a little layering here going on. Make sure I have my spiders going the right way. That's going to lay in there. Using up our bits and scraps and things. Finishing up. And as I said, this will be the last bonus tutorial for this 13 Frights Before Halloween series. I have a couple more days to go on the project, but I feel like those will be pretty detailed days that I won't have time to do, you know, the bonus. So we're going to finish this up as the last bonus one, but we will continue working on our project. So check back tomorrow for another 13 Frights before Halloween as we work on our large folio album. So this is 2 by 2, and so I just cut that, and it's going to go right there in the center, and that is where you will write your message of your card right there. So that's cute. I think that turned out really cute. It's got a pop-up scene here. Fold this down, and you can make an envelope for it. And that is our bonus card for today. I'm thinking of rounding these corners because I just think it would make it look better. Finished. It's not necessary. Let's do a 1/4 inch. Just like that. Okay, so there we go. That is our little sticker pop-up card for my 13 Frights Before Halloween bonus project. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time.